Retro PC Durham, Chris here with another ThinkPad. All right, so we're going to take a look at a Lenovo ThinkPad here. This would be part of the first, we'll call it the first generation of the fully Lenovo branded ThinkPad products. So when Lenovo bought the PC company from IBM in 2005, they kind of had an agreement to continue to use the IBM logo on their products for a couple of years. And, you know, it's hard to tell if that was kind of it was a thing that Lenovo wanted to do to be able to help them with selling stuff, or if it was kind of an agreement between the two companies to allow for a transition and make sure that, you know, people would still recognize the product and buy it. But at any rate, up until this product, or this series of products, this year of products, the IBM logo existed with the ThinkPad logo on ThinkPads. After it all started with the Lenovo in here, even though they were manufactured by Lenovo, if you flip them over, there'd be a Lenovo logo on the bottom here. Anyways, this is a ThinkPad T500. So this was the T series, is kind of like the executive business line, best of breed product for the ThinkPad series of machines. And the 500 series, the 5, kind of tagged in with being a 15-inch product line. So that's what you had here, was a larger ThinkPad for a larger screen. And, you know, you would think that it would mean that it would also be more of everything, but that really wasn't the case. If you compared the T400 to the T500, apart from having the larger screen resolution, there really wasn't a heck of a lot else going on. The speakers aren't any better. You physically, I don't believe, have any additional storage capacity or upgradability within the system. You weren't even at the point yet where, as with like modern ThinkPads, if you get a 15-inch model, you'll have a numeric keypad included. You know, that didn't even have it here. The workstation class that were released around this time, the W series, they did put the larger keyboards, I think, in the second generation of this. So it would have been like the W501 or 502 or something. But yeah, there wasn't a heck of a lot of difference other than the fact that you had the larger screen. So processor-wise, it's an Intel Core 2 Duo, anywhere from a P8400 up to a T9600, all dual-core processors. You know, from 2.2, 2.3 gigahertz up to 2.8 gigahertz. This has a P8400 in it, I believe. You would have had either onboard graphics or a onboard shared with a GPU, so switchable graphics, which is, you know, kind of common on a lot of laptops now. For a Mobility Radeon HD 3650 with 256 megabytes, a little bit underpowered for the time. I think that half a meg would have been, you know, kind of better, but you know, it is what it is. This model here, I believe, doesn't have a GPU built into it, so it's just the Intel GMA graphics. Screen wise, you would have had 15.4 inch screens. That's what you've got available here, and there was a couple of different screens available for this. So you could have got a cheap 1280 by 800 screen, a 1680 by 1050, which is what's on here, or a 1920 by 1200 WU XGA screen, which would have been really nice at the time. And then memory-wise, 2 memory DIMMs up to 8 gig, and then storage on the side, Ultra Bay, etc. So I'll show you here what you got here. Pretty standard design. Front panel connectors here. We've got our slot here for a SD card, audio ports, Wi-Fi connector, a micro or mini FireWire port. We've got our Ultra Bay slot here, which can hold like an optical drive or a spare hard drive, or I think a battery option as well. Modem over here, our primary battery, Kensington lock, power connector, and exhaust. More exhaust, VGA and DisplayPort output, our Ethernet connection, 3 USB ports, and then a combo PCMCIA and Express card slot, so it could do one of each. And then when we look on the bottom here, we've got our docking connector and our battery, and then that's it. Screws to undo our keyboard and wrist rest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that gives you everything that you need there. And then our hard drive can fit into here. So if I open this up and we get powered up, we'll be able to take a look at what else we have going on in this system as far as specs and performance. Okay, here we are with hardware info up, showing off our specs. So we've got that Intel Core 2 Duo P8400 processor. So it's a dual core up to 2.4 gigahertz in terms of performance. It's the, I guess, the lowest end of the processors that were technically supported on this machine. Memory wise, we've got 8 gig of RAM installed, so we've got a pair of 4 gig DIMMs, and those are running in dual channel mode. We've got that Intel GMA graphics adapter available for our graphics. And then storage wise, we've got a multi-burner, and then I've got a 128 gig SSD in this system when we're running Windows 10 Pro. So the reason why I've got a little bit beefier specs than what I normally would put is I actually bought this machine off eBay with the intention of repairing it and reselling it. So it's taken me a little bit of time to get this machine actually up and running. I had to order a new screen for it, and then I had to order another parts machine to get some new parts for the hinges for the LCD, and then a new wrist rest. So all told, it's cost me a little bit more than I expected to, but sometimes that happens when you're trying to flip machines to make a little bit of extra cash on the side. But anyways, the system worked out pretty well in terms of performance, so I'm happy with how it's running, and we'll actually show off. I guess I'll just do CrabRave, and we can see how well it handles some standard computing. Okay, so we've got CrabRave set up here at 1080p. Let's see how well it handles itself with this Core 2 Duo processor with a SSD and lots of memory. I'm not seeing any problems so far. Drop frames are at a minimal amount. No skipping or hesitation. So yeah, pretty good performance overall. I think that this will make a really good machine for someone looking for something a little bit higher end. Obviously some additional upgradability with that processor if you can get a more powerful one. I have heard, there's possibility of maybe doing some BIOS tweaks to improve some of the processor performance on these things as well. So that may be up someone's alley. And yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the ThinkPad T500 with me. As always, I hope you are staying safe and healthy, and we will catch you in the next one.